Stop for a moment. Put the phone down. Now pick it back up. Stare at the screen. No notification. No reply. Just silence. Feel that tight pressure in your chest. That low-level anxiety crawling up your spine. That familiar question looping in your head. What did I do wrong? You didn't say anything crazy. You didn't insult her. You were kind, supportive, available. You showed interest. You showed care. You did everything you were told a good man should do. And yet, the dynamic shifted. Quietly, invisibly, without warning. One day she was warm. The next, distant. One day she laughed at your messages. The next, she read them and disappeared. And you don't even know when you lost control. You were taught that love is earned through goodness, that loyalty is secured through sacrifice, that if you give enough, prove enough, wait long enough, she'll choose you. But look around. The men who bend over backwards are overlooked. The men who apologize for breathing are tolerated, not desired. The men who would do anything for her are the men she respects the least. Why? Because nature does not reward submission. Psychology does not reward availability. And desire is not born from safety, it is born from tension. Niccolò Machiavelli understood something about human nature that modern culture desperately tries to bury. He didn't speak in fantasies. He spoke in mechanics. He observed people not as they should be, but as they are. Ungrateful, inconsistent, self-interested, emotionally driven. He understood that power is never handed to the kind, it is taken by the strategic. And if you're here, it's because you're tired. Tired of being confused. Tired of emotional whiplash. Tired of passive-aggressive silence and unspoken tests. Tired of watching other men command attention effortlessly while you feel like you're auditioning for relevance. And no, it's not your looks. It's not your money. It's not even your confidence. It's your frame. What you are about to hear are not pickup tricks, not manipulations, not lines. They are psychological laws. Once they install themselves into your thinking, you will never again be at the mercy of emotional chaos. But understand this clearly: once you see how control actually works, you will never unsee it. You will begin to notice the invisible strings in every interaction. If you are ready to stop being a spectator in your own life and start becoming the prize, keep listening. This is the autopsy of the nice guy. The first law is brutal in its simplicity. Scarcity creates value. If oxygen were sold, you would only pay for it while drowning. Right now, you are oxygen. You are everywhere. You are always reachable. You reply instantly. You rearrange your life the moment she shows interest. You think this signals commitment. Psychologically, it signals disposability. Machiavelli warned that familiarity destroys reverence. The more accessible a leader becomes, the less he is feared, and the less he is respected. Attraction follows the same rule. When you are always present, you leave no room for imagination. When you are always available, you remove mystery. When you are always responsive, you cheapen your attention. Absence is not cruelty. Absence is gravity. When you are not there, her mind fills the gap. She wonders where you are, what you're doing, who you're with, whether you're thinking about her. And in that space of uncertainty, desire begins to ferment. But you destroy this process by hovering, by overgiving, by flooding her with reassurance. To regain control, you must learn calculated absence. Not ghosting, not punishment, not games. Priority. When you are building something real, your body, your mission, your competence, your absence stops being a tactic and becomes a consequence of value. Women instinctively know the difference between a man pretending to be busy and a man who genuinely has somewhere to be. When she takes hours to reply, the old you panics, double texts, explains, tries to fix the silence. The Machiavellian you simply returns to his work. You don't withdraw to provoke. You withdraw because your attention is expensive. Humans chase what moves away. It is instinct. If you sprint toward her, she retreats to maintain balance. If you stop chasing and walk toward your purpose, she instinctively turns to follow. The second law is emotional unpredictability. The human brain craves patterns but becomes addicted to uncertainty. A slot machine that pays every time becomes boring. A slot machine that pays randomly becomes obsession. Intermittent reinforcement is the strongest psychological hook known. Most men are predictable, predictably kind, predictably reactive, predictably insecure. She knows how to make you smile. She knows how to make you apologize. She knows exactly which button to press. You are a solved equation. Machiavelli advised rulers to be both lion and fox, powerful and elusive. You must disrupt your own predictability. If you are usually reserved, allow a moment of sudden intensity. If you are usually affectionate, become briefly detached. Not to punish, but to remind her that your attention is not guaranteed. Affection is not a salary. It is a commission. Most men mirror emotions. If she's happy, they're happy. If she's distant, they unravel. You must become your own weather system. Calm when she is chaotic. Unmoved when she tests. Centered when she seeks reaction. When she realizes she cannot control your emotional state, something shifts. She begins to study you instead of managing you. And the moment a woman starts asking herself, "What is he thinking?" the dynamic has flipped. The third law is the mirror. Validation is currency. Every human being is a narcissist at the core. We crave to be seen, to be understood, to feel significant. Most men try to impress by talking, by listing achievements, by selling themselves. This communicates insecurity. The Machiavellian approach is inversion. You speak less. You listen more. But when you listen deeply. You ask questions no one else asks. You explore her motivations, her contradictions, her fears. You don't flatter her surface, you validate her inner world. You show her that you see beyond the mask. And when you reflect someone's inner identity back to them, they confuse that reflection with connection. But here's where power lives. You control the mirror. You decide when it is held up and when it disappears. When deep validation is withdrawn, the craving begins. She chases the version of herself she saw reflected in your attention. Validate effort. Validate depth. Validate truth, not beauty. Make her feel exposed yet safe. That is intimacy. The fourth law is destroying the pedestal. You were taught to worship. By movies, by culture, by fear. When you treat a woman like a goddess, she has no choice but to treat you like a follower. Fans don't get intimacy. Fans wait. Fans hope. Machiavelli insisted that leaders see reality as it is. She is human, flawed, insecure, imperfect. When you place her above you, you signal inferiority. Women do not date beneath themselves. To regain balance, you must meet her at eye level. Disagree when you disagree. Challenge when necessary. Tease. Call out behavior calmly. The man who is unshaken by beauty is rare and therefore magnetic. Respect precedes desire. She cannot love a man she does not respect. The fifth law is silence. The one who speaks least controls the frame. Explaining is weakness. Overcommunicating leaks power. Mystery dies in overexposure. Silence forces projection. When she tests you, do not rush to respond. When she provokes, do not justify. Pause. Let the silence stretch. She will fill it. Silence communicates self-possession. It implies you are evaluating, not pleading. Never announce boundaries. Enforce them through action. Silence is sovereignty. The sixth law is independence. The willingness to walk away. This cannot be faked. If you need her, she owns you. If you want her but don't require her, you are free. Most men stay because they fear emptiness. They tolerate disrespect to avoid solitude. Power comes from abundance, not options, but purpose. When you truly accept that losing her would not destroy you, the entire dynamic transforms. Paradoxically, when she knows you will leave if boundaries are crossed, she stays. Structure creates safety. You only keep what you are willing to lose. And here is the final truth. This was never about controlling her. Every law you heard governs you. Control is internal. When you master your impulses, your neediness, your fear, your validation hunger, you become gravitational. She doesn't submit to force. She submits to order. Kill the nice guy, not kindness, weakness. Become the ruler of your inner world. The throne is not outside you. It is within. If you are ready to stop begging and start ruling, you already know what to do. The next step goes even deeper. You've learned how to stand. Next, you learn how to move. If you want more insights like this, hit subscribe to Mind Noctis and join the journey.